my shadows? It is me, Melody Shade. For today's video, I thought it would be kind of cool to go through my album, Awakening. We'll listen to like a few little snippets here and there, and I will talk about the lyrics that I created, what the songs are about, etc., etc. So if you watched my first video, then you might know that I actually wrote this album when my husband and I first started dating. I wrote it like within that first month that we were dating. And to kind of give you a little bit background of why I use AI, I am a lyricist. I do actually sing as well. I enjoy singing, but it's been a long time and I need some practice. But when I made this album for my husband, I had purchased a like studio set, so it had like beats, and you could use it to make guitar chords and etc. etc. And I had purchased it for like the purpose of making this album for him, and I did, and did not do the best job. My sweet dear husband was like, I really love your lyrics, and but your music is not the best. And I've tried here and there to kind of fiddle with making music, doing various different sites, again, that provide loops, and you can input like guitar noises, piano noises, etc. But my strong suit definitely does not lie with music composition. So when I was doing kind of my routine search, I do this search every now and then for music making websites, and I found Udio, which is what I use to make all the songs on this album, and I found that I really enjoyed using it, and it was a very cathartic experience putting my songs to music and being able to listen to them the way that they were always intended to sound. So for today's video, we're going to kind of go through my songs for my first album, Awakening, what they're about, and things like that. And I'd love to, in a future video, kind of take you through the writing process and the song making process with Udio. There are other sites out there. We could check those out as well. Udio right now is my favorite. I feel like I have the most control when I use Udio. I write all of my own lyrics. So I use the 32-second generation, and I go and do 32 seconds by 32 seconds until I finish the whole song. I have tried Suno a few times, and find that it is pretty good for creating like a whole song in one go. But I think the vocals of Udio sound better than the ones on Suno. And overall, I just like having more control in the process. So let's go ahead and listen. We'll talk about why I chose these sounds for certain songs, and etc. So let's go ahead. We'll start with Firefly. The reason I decided to open with Firefly, so actually there is a YouTuber. I'd love to give her a shout out. I think she is such a great YouTuber. Okay, so this is Nisi X. You can see, is already at 31.1k subscribers. She reacts to, I'm just going to click here. She reacts to songs, performances, albums, and anything else that she finds interesting. But yeah, mostly she reacts to music. And I found her and started following her because she was reacting to Taylor, and I am a huge Swiftie. So I kind of had her words in my mind while putting this album in order, and one of the things that she often says is she feels that the first song in an album kind of sets the stage for the whole rest of the album, right? And so I've remembered that through every album that I've put together. Yes, I do have multiple albums pretty much ready to go. Some need a little bit of fine-tuning before I put them out, but I have multiple albums ready to go. But so with that in mind, and kind of setting the stage for this album, And honestly, being the first song that I wrote about my now husband, I sort of wrote it to my now husband. I felt like Firefly was the perfect one to start off the album. And so Firefly, I wrote to him, like literally to him, as a way of like communicating how I was feeling to him, because I left it for him to read, and he even wrote like a response for it. So this is me sharing that I kind of feel like I have self-destructive behavior, that I think I'm kind of saying I'm afraid that he is too good for me and that I am just going to end up hurting him. But in a way, I want to take this chance, and I'm wondering, like, is this going to be another one of my self-destructive cycles, or maybe is this person going to be the one who can help me break the cycle? So that's what Firefly is truly about. So we'll go ahead and we'll listen to just a little bit of each song here.
Somebody save me from myself. I don't want to make the same mistakes. I want to get it right this time, because you don't deserve the hurt I bring. I want to keep you smiling. Maybe it's best you stay away from me, but that's not what my heart is asking. Yeah, baby, I am bad news, but I guess the choice is up to you.
So you can clearly tell with that song, like I said, I felt like I was kind of just in the cycle of self-destructive behavior, and that I was just going to bring him down. But ultimately, like I said in the song, like, it's not my choice if you want to, it's not my choice. If you want to take this risk with me, then that's up to you, because, you know, I feel like maybe I should stay away from you, but my heart is drawing me towards you. So that's what Firefly is about. And then I follow it up with Damsel in Distress, which is actually very, like, kind of mirroring the sentiments in Firefly. So let's go ahead, we'll listen to it, and then I'll kind of explain. And I meant to, like, kind of further explain, like, the sounds also. If you follow me on TikTok, another shameless plug, go follow me on TikTok. I think I do have it as a YouTube video on here as well, but, like, artists that inspired this album, inspired the sounds of this album, were, like, Gregory and the Hawk and Azure, and actually I didn't put this in that video, but also A Fine Frenzy. And, I mean, Gregory and the Hawk and Azure, I kind of think inspire a lot of my music, and I like more mellow sounds, and A Fine Frenzy, yeah. A Fine Frenzy was an album that I was listening to a lot when I initially wrote all these songs. So Firefly and Damsel in Distress definitely have more of those, like, three sounds. They're definitely a little bit more melancholy and slower and more, like, deep emotional. And I definitely wanted those sounds to reflect that. And when I wrote these songs initially, I think this is kind of the sound that I had already imagined it was going to be. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and listen to Damsel in Distress.
Do 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 do
pause it there. The do 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 do. That was something that I had added to the song my first go around when I initially wrote this album many years ago. And so I wanted to keep certain elements the same from that initial attempt at creating this album. Um, so that is a part of it. And then you'll tell in Damsel in Distress that there is no chorus. And it's not something I do for every song, but definitely some of my more like emotional, my more emotional songs will sometimes not have a chorus, but you can, again, throughout the song, I do repeat that line about being a damsel in distress. And so it was kind of the direction that I was going with damsel in distress was, my husband, later in the song, I'd say, you may have slayed the dragon, you may have woken me with true love's kiss, but I'm still like a broken, twisted mess, kind of like, you can be the hero like all you want, but I am a mess. I'm always the, quote, damsel in distress. But it's more so kind of saying, like, Firefly was saying, are you going to be the one who leads me out of this darkness? And I think damsel in distress is more saying that, like your presence, your efforts are noted and appreciated, but, like, also I'm the one who has to fix myself. I think it's a little bit more where damsel in distress is taking that. Yeah, so that's damsel in distress. And now with Rust Away, we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit. We're going to kind of get a little bit more faster paced with Rust Away, and a lot of the songs from here on out. I think Rust Away, I Feel It Now, Awakening, maybe even a little bit Addicted. I wanted more of like a pop rock sound. So think a little bit more Paramore. I mean, not necessarily exactly the same, although Awakening, I feel like is like the closest I get to like a Paramore sound. But yeah, I wanted to bring up the tempo a little bit and kind of give it a little bit more of like a pop rock sound. I mean, I do love my pop music. I love rock music. I love pop rock music. And I also kind of wanted to make it sound a little bit something more like my husband might consider listening to a little bit. The album overall, I don't really think it's his sound, but I was also trying to keep it true to myself and what I had initially wanted these songs to sound like. So Rust Away is probably one of my favorite songs. It's my husband's favorite song. My sister had read the lyrics to this song and she really liked it. So this is actually the first song that I made with udio when I made this album. It wasn't the first song I made with udio, period. I actually started with some different songs, and then I was like, well, my sister had just been here to visit. She had just told me that she liked these lyrics. I was like, I could actually finally put this lyrics to song, like to music, and make it the way it was supposed to be. And then once I did that, I was like, well, let's not stop here. Let's go ahead and recreate this whole album. So that's what I did. And we'll listen to a little bit of Rust Away, and then we'll kind of talk about it.
I used to think sadness was love, that needing someone was the same as longing for their touch. I used to think I would never be good enough for anyone, because no one could make the sacrifices I was. I was stuck outside, ready to rust away, when you came by, sheltered me from the rain. You looked
away, you'll notice this theme of, I used to think love was this, and this is why. And it's really about how I had a twisted view on what love was supposed to be, and that I kind of resigned to just relationships where I was constantly sad, where I wasn't fulfilled, where my partners, didn't put in as much effort as I did, and I kind of resigned to that's just the way that it's going to be. Like, I just give 100% of myself, and nobody's going to do that for me, and so I just kind of have to accept it. And that's kind of what Rust Away is about. Like, I'm outside, and I was prepared to rust away. I was prepared for this to be my life. And then you came by and sheltered me from the rain. You came by and said, no, babe, that's not the way it's supposed to be. And just kind of, again, mirroring the sentiments in Firefly and Damsel in Distress, that, he was showing me what love is supposed to be. He was taking me out of, like, the dark place that I was. He was taking me out of this mindset that I was in, and was like, let me, show you what love is supposed to be. And that's really what Rust Away is. It's like, let me show you what love is actually supposed to look like. So yeah, that's Rust Away. That's, I think, the majority of the favorite. Honestly, I will link up above the music video, lyric video that I have here on YouTube if you want to check it out. I also, on TikTok, have like a mini video for Damsel in Distress. It's just that first minute of this, no, not the first minute of the song, but it's a minute of the song. Alright, I might get ambushed, so we're going to try and kind of speed through the rest of the album. I already hear him coming. No? Okay. So the next one is I Feel It Now.
I may not have seen it at first, but I feel it now. You make my heart want to burst, and my lungs give out. It's hard to believe this whole time you were right next to me, and I have to tell myself, slow down, no need to take the short road. Slow down, you've got forever to but go. It's hard to stop when I know you're the one that I want.
Okay, I do love I Feel It Now. It's such a fun song. So I think part of the purpose of this song, the reason why it's called like I Feel It Now, is because my husband and I had known each other for a little bit before, we got together. And I, at first, didn't see us, together. We were really good friends, and that's kind of just the way I thought it was going to stay, is that we're really good friends. And, when our friends are like, what's going on with you guys? It was like, we're just really good friends. And then he asked me out, and I was like, okay, maybe we're not just friends. And so it's kind of like, all right, well, I'm catching the feels now, first of all, and then second of all, I do really enjoy this song, because it's like, once I caught the feels, I was like, oh, this is my person. And kind of reminding you, I wrote this into our first month of being together. But I love listening to this now. We're married, we have a family, and I love listening back to this and being like, oh my god, I knew way back then. And so the chorus is slow down, and I'm like, but it's hard to. But it's slow down because I'm telling myself, I don't need to rush with this person. I have forever to get to know this person and to enjoy ourselves. And that, I think that's also why I really enjoy this song, is just the fact that I knew that this was my person. And I think that was a really special feeling, and I love that I captured it in lyrics, and now that I have it in a song that I can listen to and be reminded of those early days, but also reflect on it and be like, I was right, obviously, this is my person. So I really love that one. In Awakening, this is the title track for the album, and this was the title track for the original album as well. Like, I didn't change that. I'm not sure how much the song order changed or didn't change. I honestly don't remember. I'd have to go look at it, and I don't have it in front of me. But Awakening was always the title track, and I feel like that's because it really does encapsulate like all the feelings, like really just all the feelings. I think it mirrors a lot of these songs that kind of have a similar theme, obviously, and Awakening really presents that in a unified way. So let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of this.
I was blind, stuck deep inside this cage where I confide. Overlooked, never took a second to open my eyes, but you were here. I felt your warmth, just could not tell that you were the one I sought. So I fell deeper still. I was stuck in a dark place. You brought me out of the maze. Your hazel eyes take me to the lush forest of your soul. When I'm kissing you, I can taste the sweet spring on your tongue. Your skin's on mine, your heat is turning me on. We're so close, we are one, but we're not close enough. And now I can't breathe. It's like I've been drowning in my sleep. This is my awakening.
Yeah, I think Awakening is one of my favorite songs for sure. So let's kind of like talk about it. I start off saying like I was blind, stuck deep inside this cage where I confide. So like this cage that I've put myself into, this mindset that I've allowed myself to be stuck in. And I say I felt your warmth but could not tell, kind of referring to like I feel it now, where I wasn't sure about us or like about leaving this cage, because the thing about a cage, right, is like you want to break free, but also it's a comfort, it's like what's there, what's inside this cage, but if you leave, then what? Then you don't know what's on the outside, right? So that's kind of the sentiment I'm portraying there. And I love the bridge there. I was stuck in a dark place and you brought me out of the maze. Obviously, call back to Firefly. I asked at the end of the song, I asked my husband, like, are you going to be the Firefly? Are you going to be, I say, are you going to be the lantern glowing in the dark night of Firefly? So are you going to help lead me out of this darkness? And in Awakening, I'm saying, I was stuck in a dark place and you did lead me out. And that's the sentiment, like, I've been saying sentiment a lot. It's really annoying, but that is what I'm saying throughout this song, Awakening. And just, I love the imagery in Awakening as well, which is why, like, my cover art is this. Like, your hazel eyes take me to the lush forest of your soul. Like, I love just the imagery of, like, his soul being this, like, tranquil place, that I can escape, like, from reality into, or just feel safe within. I love the imagery there. You would think I didn't write this song. It's been so long that it is kind of like surprising to me sometimes the way that I used to write. And I do really just enjoy that imagery of like his soul is this beautiful, lush green forest that reflects like the green in his eyes. Kissing him is like drinking like the sweetest, purest water. That it's refreshing, but also like feels like purification. And I say like it was like I was drowning in my sleep, but this is my awakening. So like I was stuck in this dark place. I was drowning basically. I'm hurting myself in this dark place, but like finally now I am awake and I can begin again and I can learn to love the right way and learn to be loved the right way. So that's I do truly love Awakening. But so those are the things that I'm trying to convey within that song. And we'll move on to Addicted, but we're not going to talk too much about it, okay? I'll just give you a preview of the song. It's very self explanatory, okay? I don't need to give you a rundown of what the song is about. It's very self explanatory.
I'm losing my marbles. My brain is scrambled. And it's all because of you. Lose grip on my senses. This desire's immense. And it's all thanks to you. When you touch my skin, my body starts quivering.
Okay, we don't need to listen to the whole song. You can go ahead and listen to it on Spotify. I do think it's a jam, but again, self-explanatory, and not appropriate for me to listen to the whole thing here on YouTube. Anyway, so this time, I Have Nothing to Prove is another one of my favorites. Personally, I love the song. I love the vibe. I was very pleasantly surprised with the sound that I got with this song. For like Rust Away, I Feel It Now, Awakening, Addicted, and this time, I used like similar prompting. But this one kind of gives more of an R&B vibe, which I love. Like, I feel like it sounds like I sang this song and produced it myself. I think is why I love it so much. But let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of this.
Can't we just lay here forever with your body against mine like a heater? You make the coldest days warmer, the darkest nights brighter. You know me better than anyone has ever tried to know. You kiss me and stir my soul. This time I'm not afraid, even though I'm terrified, because my heart has been swayed. Finally found the right guy. This time I have nothing to prove. I feel brand new, and it's all thanks to you.
Brings us back down after Awakening and Addicted. We're up, and now we're kind of slowly coming back down, and it moves us into Spark. But I think it also fits really well after Addicted. You know, starting off, can't we just lay here forever with your body against mine like a heater? Just being warm, feeling good in their presence, just wanting to be around this person. And I love that this time I'm not afraid, even though I'm terrified. And I'm not like afraid. It's, you know, contradicts each other, right? Those two lines. But it's like I'm comfortable with this person. I don't need to be afraid being with this person, but like also I don't want to lose this person, right? And this time I have nothing to prove. I don't have to prove myself to you. You make me feel brand new. I think that kind of comes back from Awakening, where I say like, this is my awakening. This is my like rebirth. I am anew. You make me feel this way. You make me feel brand new. And yeah, I love this song. We're gonna go into Spark, and I do bring it back down for Spark. It sounds more melancholy than the lyrics are, right? The tone doesn't necessarily match the lyrics, but also I love it. But when I wrote it, again, it was kind of in my head. It was kind of written this way, and I think I wrote Spark more around the time that I wrote Firefly and like Damsel in Distress. And I think like the more upbeat songs came after that. So Spark definitely more so resembles Firefly and Damsel in Distress in its tone. But the lyrics are a little bit brighter, a little bit happier, like the rest of the songs. So we'll go ahead and we'll listen to a little bit of Spark.
It's like my first winter, I'm happy and carefree. No one can bring me down because used to feeling the way I do. I think I like you. The sky has never been so blue before. I was walking in the dark, but not anymore.
So the timing of our relationship was in winter. So when I say like it feels like my first winter, I mean partially because it was winter when we got together, but also because he made me enjoy winter again. Like it was my first winter. Like I was a little kid. And winter for me had always just been this time of like deep depression. Always. Not always, but like as I grew, it became a time of deep depression for me. Even though my favorite holiday is Christmas, I was always sad around this time, and it felt like relationships were always dark around this time, and so it felt like I was learning to enjoy winter again. Like I was learning to enjoy all these little things again, and I was able to do that with him, and that's kind of what that is like actually like saying there. And just like I think I like you, like it's the very beginning, we're feeling each other out, and we're saying cute little things to each other, kind of trying to gauge how we both feel and like how much we like each other. And that's why it's kind of like I think I like you. Like obviously I liked him at this point and he liked me in this, but it's like that like cute beginning stages where you're just kind of trying to feel each other out. Like I don't know. I think I wrote these songs, so of course I enjoy them, but I enjoy the innocence, I think, of Spark, and I think that's also why I like it, that sound. I feel like it does like bring the innocence about it. Like it's a young, fresh relationship. We're feeling each other out. We're getting to know each other, but also like it feels like I'm experiencing these things for the first time, right? I've enjoyed winter before. It's not my first winter, but it feels like it is. It feels like I am experiencing these things for the first time. And I think that's what I really like about Spark and how it like has that like innocence to it. And so the end of the album is Happily Ever After. Now this song was not on the original album. It's a song that I wrote after I put this album together, and this is actually a song that I sang to my husband at our wedding reception. Just me, a cappella. I don't play any instruments. I've dabbled in guitar, but I hadn't played in a long time, and so I sang it to him, serenaded him at our reception, embarrassed him in front of everybody. But yeah, so this is one that I wrote again after I'd already created this album. And the reason I included it in this album was one, it was supposed to be a wedding anniversary gift, and two, it does reference the other songs in this album. I say like you were the fire to my spark, like blah blah blah. But so it does reference the other songs in this album, and I just felt like it was a really great way to end the album, but also to just wrap up all the feelings and all the things I was trying to say in this album. So let's go ahead and preview Happily Ever After.
If love was an ocean, then I'd surely drown. Spend the rest of my days getting lost in the sound of your voice. If time was a river, well, it's flowing on wrong, and I curse at the wind for pushing the current along. Time never goes the way I want it to. If you were a fisherman, I'd be the fish you catch. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for your happiness. If our love was a diamond, we would shine the brightest. I know this 'cause you make me feel alive, and that's a way I haven't felt in my whole life.
Alright, so this is another one, similar to like Damsel in Distress, that doesn't have a chorus, but what I wanted to like get at, so I start off by saying, if love was an ocean, then I would drown. Um, and if you were a fisherman, I would be the fish you catch. And just saying that, like, I'm willing to make sacrifices for our relationship. And I even say, like, in the song, like, you make me feel alive. That's a way I haven't felt before. And but I'm not here just to take, take, take. I also want to give. So I am willing to also like make sacrifices because I want to see you be like as happy as you've made me. Um, yeah, so that is my album. That is Awakening by Moi, Melody Shade. I hope you enjoyed kind of this preview and breakdown of the songs. I definitely have fun doing it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. Comment below what was your favorite song or your favorite description, commentary on the songs below. Or really any thoughts that you had, you can leave below. Again, Awakening is available for streaming. You can check out the link on my page to direct you to whichever streaming platform you want to listen to it on. And I will see you in the next video real soon. Bye, Shadows!